The chapter starts with a blond man in an armor who had injured his leg. One of his men came running towards him covered with blood and was scared. The blond man asked him about the soldiers who had entered the forest with him. The men covered in blood told that all of their soldiers are dead. Suddenly the men covered in blood was killed by a man wearing a wild boar skull. The blond man was enraged and asked the man wearing boar skull who he was. The scene shifts to a castle where there was a fight between monsters and humans. We are now introduced to the main character whose name is Jin Sung, and he had taken a lot of damage and he was in an abnormal state where he couldn't use any skill or restore his HP. King Arthur came near Jin Sung and he attacked King Arthur because he had betrayed him in the expedition. But King Arthur used a skill with his staff to bind Jin Sung. King Arthur started hitting Jin Sung, by which he was losing a lot of HP. He was on the verge of death and started thinking about the game when it was released 10 years ago and how it attracted many people with its high graphics and lively NPCs. There was an event to defeat the Demon King, and the reward for defeating the Demon King was that he would have the ability to establish a kingdom and become the hero of the game. Jin Sung was abandoned by his family because he was a game addict. King Arthur was a servant of the gods Arya and possessed a skill called Infinite Circle which gives him endless mana. When he was going to get killed by King Arthur, he heard a voice asking him if he wants revenge. The voice was of the old evil and the Lord of Abyss Abraxas, as he appointed Hyung as the Avenger Damien who will kill the goddess of light Arya. Jin Sung blacked out, and as he was awake he found himself in his room. His brother came into his room to call him to eat food. Jin Sung was surprised to see his brother at home, as his brother should have been in military. He realized that he had came 10 years back in time when the beta version of Arcia Chronicle was released. While having food there was an advertisement of Arcia Chronicle. Jin Sung sat in a car and was going back to his house. While going back home, a notification appeared saying system activating following a countdown of 168 hours, and if he doesn't log in within the given time he will die. Jin Sung was confused seeing the notification, and there was a voice in his telling him something. Jin Sung went to an electronic store to buy a capsule, but he couldn't buy a capsule because all of the capsule were reserved. Jin Sung got a capsule which was cancelled by a customer. After paying for the capsule he went back home. He logged into the game and a notification appeared saying error and warning. The scene shifts to San Francisco, California, USA, where there was an error in the game system. The head of Oracle ordered to give up the control over mainstream as they can't lose all of AC. Jin Sung successfully logged into the game and he promises to get his revenge on King Arthur. Jin Sung opened the window and got notification. On the window there were conditions which were if Jin Sung do not log into the game within 168 hours he will die. The second condition was when Jin Sung character dies he will also die. And the third condition was when Jin Sung does not complete a goal within given time he will die. After reading the conditions Jin Sung was started cursing the game. Notifications started to appear saying that final goal Demon King's Descent, remaining time 87,599 hours. And Jin Sung was given a class based on the final goal which was Witch Doctor. Witch Doctor uses primitive powers, they are beings who are the closest to death, ancient sorcery and curses. Their identities are veiled by mystery and they believe that death is salvation. The scene shifts to Jin Sung who is looking at his stats which were not good. A notification appeared saying that Jin Sung had committed a crime and his alignment is really low. Jin Sung alignment was minus 10 million and Jin Sung got an alignment penalty. The penalty for the low alignment was minus 500% fall in experience points upon death, second was -500% increase in probability of dropping items upon death. The third was -500% in probability of equipment being destroyed upon death. And the fourth was nullification of the safe zone's shield, and he will be attacked by the NCPs. After reading the penalty, he decided to go to the Dunvedan village to accept a quest. Jin Sung entered in the house of village head by covering his head with a paper bag so he would not get attacked by the NCPs. Jin Sung got a quest to catch 10 chicks. Jin Sung headed to the mountain behind the Dunvedan village to complete his quest. After practicing his new skill, he was able to kill a chick. Jin Sung had to reach level 10 to use all of the skill which were locked. After killing more chicks, Jin Sung was able to complete his quest. The scene shifts to a blonde man sitting on a sofa. He gets a call from his director that the most suitable class, the fastest way to level up, and every type of item and equipment was prepared for him in the game. The blonde guy happens to be Jong Yumin, aka King Arthur. After killing some more chicks, he was able to reach level 2. Window appeared saying Jin Sung had 5 stat points remaining. The scene shifts to Jin Sung getting chased by roosters as he wanted to level up fast. He shot a poison dart at the rooster which killed it. Jin Sung lead the rooster to the trap which was set by him. The roosters were killed, by which Jin Sung got a lot of XP which made him to level up to level 9. In the near forest there were some players killing roosters to level up. Jin Sung was angered because the rooster were lead there by Jin Sung so he could kill them and gain XP. The players started to attack Jin Sung, but he dodged the attack and killed the players. After killing those players, Jin Sung had finally reached level 10. He was able to use all the skills which were locked. Jin Sung logged out and went to the convenience store to buy food. While he was paying for his, there was a broadcast about Jong Yumin, who was set to retire from the Tempest of Time and Space, and he was going to play Arceus Chronicle. Jin Sung logged into the game, started to increase his level, and Jin Sung was able to reach level 15. Jin Sung got a quest to kill a mutated boar and bring back the hide. Jin Sung went in the mountains to search for the wild mutated boar, and after some time he was able to find the boar. Jin Sung continuously attacked the boar with corruption elixir, which corroded the boar's defensive mechanism, and the boar's defense started to decrease. The boar attacked Jin Sung, and the boar created a wall in front of Jin Sung which blocked Jin Sung from running, and Jin Sung was not able to avoid the attack. To avoid dying, Jin Sung used his zombification skill, which turned him into an undead. And it will emit plague aura, by which any opponent that is within a 3-meter radius will be poisoned and bleed. Jin Sung was in because he would have died if he didn't use this skill. Jin Sung killed the boar using the zombification skill and was able to reach level 16. Jin Sung got many rewards for killing the boar and completing the quest, and got a title of the one who killed the wild boar alone. Jin Sung heard a voice behind him and saw an old man who was talking to him. Jin Sung was not able to see the old man's information. The old man asked Jin Sung how was he able to move as a dead man. The old man tells that Jin Sung had borrowed the power of darkness, which made Jin Sung a little confused. The old man asked Jin Sung why he was harboring a level of darkness that's equivalent to the Demon King. The window appeared saying new information has been updated, displaying the NCP's information. The old man was Kairon, the priest of the apocalypse. Jin Sung called the apocalypse cult a pseudo-cult, which made Kairon angry, and he started to attack Jin Sung. Jin Sung barely managed to dodge his attack. Jin Sung got a notification saying mainstream Kairon trial has been activated. The mainstream quests are only provided to a few select users. And they are quests of great importance that decide the future of the game. Depending on the action of the users, the world of Arceus Chronicle may be completely changed. Jin Sung wonders what does this old man have to do with the mainstream. When Jin Sung was the battle god, the mainstream quest that activated was to defeat Abraxas. Along with those 6 masters, Jin Sung entered the worst dungeon in the world, the Abyss, and faced the demon king Abraxas. Jin Sung decides to complete this quest as it is connected to the mainstream. Jin Sung used bloody impulses when Kairon was going to attack him. Kairon hit Jin Sung, but he used the zombification skill to not get killed by him. Jin Sung was starting to see Kairon attacks and was stalling for time. But Kairon used a powerful energy attack which Jin Sung couldn't avoid and got hit, but he was still alive thanks to his zombification skill. Kairon complimented Jin Sung for withstanding his attack. Kairon tells Jin Sung that the power he uses is the power of the 7th god Shaka. Shaka was the best god of Arceus and he was the lord of darkness and apocalypse. Shaka was incomparable to Arya. Shaka was the greatest god. According to Jin Sung's knowledge of the game, there were only 6 gods. Kairon asks Jin Sung if he wants to become strong. Kairon tells Jin Sung to become his disciple. Jin Sung rejected his proposal, but Kairon stops Jin Sung and tells him that the power of Lord Shaka is so great that it is absolutely unfathomable. But Jin Sung does not believe what Kairon was saying. Kairon gave him the Book of the Black Covenant. A notification appeared saying mainstream encounter with the 7th god has been activated. Kairon told Jin Sung that this was the only divine object that will allow Jin Sung to meet Lord Shaka. Jin Sung opened the book and was knocked unconscious by Kairon. Jin Sung found himself in a dark and unknown place. Jin Sung meets Lord Shaka and Lord Shaka asks Jin Sung to be his friend. After talking to Lord Shaka, Jin Sung agrees to become his friend. After shaking hands with Lord Shaka, he was losing his consciousness. Jin Sung woke up and saw Kairon beside him and started cussing him. Kairon asked Jin Sung what had happened when he met Lord Shaka. Jin Sung said that Lord Shaka wanted to be his friend. Kairon tells Jin Sung that Lord Shaka has chosen him as his successor. Kairon started telling Jin Sung the story about the gods. That there were 7 gods in this island. And thanks to the god of creation Arya of light and the god of apocalypse Shaka, the circle of life and death was well balanced. But one day Arya was afraid of Lord Shaka's power of destruction and she approached the 5 other gods. They were afraid of Lord Shaka's power and wanted to possess it for themselves. So the war began and the heavens and the earth split open. But even if he was the god of apocalypse, he could not handle battling all 6 gods. And he was defeated and he left everything else to his family and fell to his eternal slumber, maintaining his divinity. And so the 7th god became forgotten by the people. After Lord Shaka's death, the world was overcome by evil. Because of Lord Shaka's absence, those who should have died refused to stay dead, which is how the demons were born. Kairon tells Jin Sung to become his disciple and become the sword of Lord Shaka and defeat the 6 gods including Arya of Light and their family. Jin Sung got a mainstream quest called Kairon's Wish. Jin Sung accepts to become Kairon's successor. Jin Sung got a new title, Agent of Revenge. Kairon tells Jin Sung that he will be leaving, but Jin Sung stops him and asks if he doesn't have anything to teach him. Kairon gave Jin Sung the Book of the Black Covenant and he disappeared. If Jin Sung wants to complete Kairon's task, he would have to fight his old comrades and who were the most powerful elites in the world. Jin Sung decides to finish this quest and end his ill fate. A notification appeared saying the Book of the Black Covenant has been acquired and new clause has been added. Due to Jin Sung low level, a section of the clauses had been deactivated. The additional clauses that Jin Sung was able to use were return to village, item appraisal, item disassembly, item synthesization, and item creation. Jin Sung was amazed with the various abilities that the book had. Jin Sung used the ability of item creation to create a wild boar helmet which was of common rank. Jin Sung headed towards the village to give the wild boar leather to the village head and complete his quest. After giving the leather, the quest was complete and Jin Sung got the village head recommendation to go to the main continent. While Jin Sung was at the port checking his stats, he heard someone calling for help. A group of men called the Killer Mages were beating down a person. An adventurer from the crowd attacked the head of the Killer Mages, but the head used a lightning spell to stop the adventurer and told his men to kill him. Jin Sung got angry and he killed one of the Killer Mages and told the head of the Killer Mages to pay the price of their life.